What is going on, everybody? I am sorry that I am late. I did have other things to do that just took way too long. Yo, what up, typical traveler? Welcome back. Hey, how was your trip? You know the Panthers are undefeated, right? Give me 1 second, everybody. Oh, I bet, dude. I was fucking jealous. I literally was fucking jealous. And your girl is hot, by the way. And I mean that in no disrespectful way at all. But somebody who looks never mind. I was gonna call you Shrek. Man. All right, I am going to be dropping the link on here. Oh man. See, and that's what I'm into now. The tight yoga pants and shit that don't bother me. Typical. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is when they show too much fucking cleavage. That bothers me. And like, if I'm going out with you or you're going out with your friends, don't wear shit that makes you look like you're trying to get attention and that you look like a skank. Because look, that's the problem that I have with modern women is even when you have a man, you're going out looking for attention from other people other than the person you're with. That's a fucking problem to me. Like, you cannot be sitting there looking for attention when you have somebody at home that wants your attention. Your girlfriend's sister was dating a British, and hey, the British were the ones who colonized America. That's just how it is. Oh, they all got small boobies. I have noticed that from the chicks that I've watched on YouTube. There's this one chick who's fucking banging, looks fucking beautiful, She speaks perfect English. Well, I wouldn't say perfect, but she speaks better English than most Americans. Oh man. But welcome everybody. Welcome to some pregame shots. Fuck, I wish I had alcohol. I gotta download Twitter on this phone actually. Hey, John Christophic, welcome. He says Pitt will defeat California today. I agree with you, brother. Hope all is well today, John. How are you doing? That's good. That's good, John Christophic. I really do hope all is well. I'm glad all is well. Are you going to be at the game today, John? Is that personal preference, or you just didn't get a ticket? Oh, damn. Yeah, this ticket was actually given to me. From P. Diddy? What? Damn, I can't remember what the fuck my damn Twitter password is to download it on my new phone. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there's actually quite a few games going on right now. So what I'm actually going to do is, I wish I could actually change the name of this live stream. I wonder if I can. Oh, I actually can. Huh. Well, apparently not. Oh, oh yeah. Oh man, I see a lot of people welcome Pitt wins. I see a lot of people actually picking California as an upset. Like that loser Josh Pate or fucking Pete Pate Paper, whatever the hell his name is. He's picking California to upset. But we're gonna do a brief brief preview for this game that I'm gonna watch a little a little little college football. Well, Josh Pate isn't he really isn't a small YouTuber. He has a crap ton of following. I think he's run through 27 sports, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I don't watch his content unless he's talking about Pitt, and he rarely ever does. And whenever he does, he likes to say something fucking stupid. All right, so the Pittsburgh Panthers are coming into this game with an undefeated record, 5-0, going up against new ACC foe, California. I actually think that this could become a rivalry within the conference. Because even though both fan bases get along, the one thing about California fans that annoy me is how political they can get. Now, I trolled them on YouTube, or not YouTube, on Twitter, saying that same exact thing. And I'm going to come on here saying that same exact thing for views and likes or dislikes, because when I asked my one friend who is a Cali fan, he lives in Artesia, which is an hour south of Los Angeles. I asked him, what could be something that I could annoy California fans with? And he told me, go away. Go away. He didn't tell me that. He told me anything political will get them talking shit. Anything. He's originally from Pittsburgh, but he's lived out in Artesia, California for about 15, 16 years. Honestly, when he moved, that's the last time I seen him. But I've always kept in contact with him. But anywho, ladies and gentile men, I trolled them on Twitter, and boy, did they come flooding in. People accused me of being a MAGA supporter, which honestly, there's a lot that Donald Trump did that I like. And there's also a lot that he did that I did not like. There's everything. Hell, here's the thing. I voted once in my lifetime. Once. I voted for Barack Obama. And it's funny, half of them called me a MAGA supporter when I'm a registered Democrat. It was fucking hilarious. Matter of fact, I actually have to request my voter registration card, to be honest. I forgot to go do that because I have no idea what mine is. I'm not voting for either Dem or Republican this year. I'm voting for somebody nobody gives a shit about. But anywho, California fans were really, 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 really easy to trigger. I mean, they were even more easy than a hooker and West Virginia fans. But that's besides the point, ladies and germs. So we're going to go back to the pregame show. I will be leaving here in about 45 minutes to start heading to the stadium. Now, everybody knows I don't drive. I don't really care if people make fun of me for not driving. And to be honest, with the way everything is going right now, there's no fucking need to have a car. There just isn't. Like, I have no problem paying a public transit tax because I use public transit. I don't have a problem with that, actually. A lot of people in vehicles are bitching that they have to pay taxes for the roadways. Motherfucker, you use it. Shut the fuck up. If you use the roadway, you should be paying a tax for it. If it's something you don't use, I don't think you should be paying a tax for it. Like, for instance, over here in America, we have this something called a school property tax, where the school district that you live in dictates how much your property is actually worth, how much you can sell your property for, and how much taxes you pay on that property. That is fucking retarded. Yo, what up, AIP? What up, AIP? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, I do apologize if anybody is offended by that word, but I'm just being flat out honest. At the same time, I don't care. I just don't want you to be offended. I'm not here to offend you, but at the same time, if you get offended, don't care. With that being said, let's actually get into the brass tacks of everything. We're going to start with Fernando Mendoza, the starting quarterback for the California Bears. 6'5" sophomore, 225 pounds, from Miami, Florida. I wonder if he transferred to CaL prior to playing. I wonder if he transferred to California and he tried to play at Miami, or maybe even was in Miami. Yeah, I'm taking public transit, John Christophic. I live east of Pittsburgh near Kennywood. So it's about a 45-minute bus ride into the city, or not into the city of Pittsburgh, into downtown Pittsburgh. I'll reach the city limits within like 10, 12 minutes of getting on the bus. It does not take that long to get into the city limits, but to get into downtown, that's a completely different story. And then I'll take the trolley. The California Bears are known as a liberal team. I found that out really quickly. Fernando Mendoza on the season has 1,177 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, has a QBR of 65.9. Holy shit, Steel City. That's typical traveler, although that is your original name. It's gonna take me a little bit to get used to that. Honestly, that's less than what I thought it would be. Straight up, that is way less than what I thought it would be. So Fernando Mendoza, originally from Miami, Florida, has 1,177 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, with a QBR of 65.9. He has completed, on the season, he has completed 64% of his passes. AIP, yo, what up, MCA? What the fuck is up, brother? I hope you're doing well, MCA. His last game was probably one of his worst games against Miami, which did come as a loss, 39-38. He went 11 for 22, which is a flat 50% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and his longest pass was 66 yards. Oh, dude, it would have been over 2 hours, because what you're not taking into account, typical, is the time you have to wait to catch the next one. Fernando Mendoza has 3 interceptions on the year, which is the same as Pitt's quarterback, but he's been sacked 19 times. 19 times Fernando Mendoza has been sacked. I do believe Eli Holstein has only been sacked 10 times, maybe 11, and half of that came in one game, because the offensive line, which isn't the same that we have now, they were just getting beat. I mean, they were just getting beat. I don't have any hatred towards North Carolina. The only problem that I have with North Carolina fans are the people who do YouTube videos, because they're homers. Especially Russ the Tar Heel. He's a homer. And he's still being a homer. He thinks that North Carolina is better than Pitt, but yet North Carolina is the one that lost to Pitt, and North Carolina has 3 losses on the season while Pitt doesn't have any. So he says that on paper North Carolina is better, and I'm like, dude, that's just another way to say you're a loser and your team sucks. That's just how it is. You can't just sit there and say, oh, well, our recruiting rankings are better. Yeah, but did you win? Your recruiting rankings mean absolutely nothing. So, I mean, you can make up the excuse you want, but we beat you on your own turf, finally. The game before that for Fernando Mendoza, they lost. They lost to the worst team in the entire conference, Florida State, 14-9. Fernando went 22 of 36 in that game, 300 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. Longest pass was 46, and this is where Pitt needs to do what Florida State did. They sacked Mendoza 7 times in that game. And yes, I actually do think Georgia Tech will beat North Carolina. I predicted that in my ACC show last night. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to plug in. My cell phone because it's only on 58%. Well, not the one that I have calls on, but the one that I'm talking to you guys on is only on 58%. I should have left it at the house when I went to the store. You know, AIP, I almost became a Texas Longhorns fan because there are a few of them up here in Pennsylvania. There's quite a few of them up here in Pennsylvania. I would say Fernando Mendoza's best game was probably the San Diego State game, which was a 31-10 victory. He went 21 of 29 for 198 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw an interception, but he had a 72% completion rate. The only problem is he was sacked 6 times in that game. It seems like a lot of the wins they have, he's either turning the ball over or he's getting sacked. And when you're coming against a defense like Pitt, who's historically known for getting to the quarterback, even if they digressed from the year prior, Pitt is still known to get pressure on the quarterback and get to the quarterback. They didn't get any sacks against Youngstown State. Pitt didn't. But there's a reason. It's not because Pitt couldn't get to the quarterback. Youngstown State is number one in all of college football in the quickest release. They literally average 2.2 seconds per release. They do not hold the ball long enough for you to get to the quarterback. AIP says, I was sad when West Virginia beat my Oklahoma State Cowboys. I really was hoping West Virginia would lose. But two things. One, I knew they wouldn't. I picked West Virginia to win that game by what they won, actually. Should have bet that game, too. But AIP, the thing is, West Virginia has to continue doing good in order for that win against, in order for Pitt beating West Virginia to look good. It has to be like that. Now, I wish it wasn't, but West Virginia needs to keep winning in order for our win against them to actually, I don't want to say carry weight, but make it easier for the playoff committee to let us in if we qualify. Because if we qualify, that doesn't mean they're going to let us in. And my other phone's only on 60%, but I don't really plan on using that phone very much. With that being said, the one thing that stands out about the California Golden Bears is their defense. They don't miss a lot of tackles. And even if they do, they make up for it with turnovers. They're one of the top teams in the country as far as the turnover rate goes. They have 11 interceptions on the year for the team. 5 of them come from one player, and I believe his name is Noel Williams or something like that. He has 5 interceptions on the year, and the rest are scattered throughout the team. Now, with that being said, California doesn't have a very good run defense. They're actually one of the worst. Both lines for the Bears and both lines for California offense and defense, they suck. California is the most pressured team in the entire ACC. They're 2 or 3 in far as taking sacks. They've taken a lot, and Pitt needs to take advantage of that. I think all Pitt needs to do in this game is do what Miami did, besides having to come back from behind. They just need to stay in front of California and make sure California stays behind them. That's the key to victory for the Pittsburgh Panthers. Or if you heard all that, that was actually me cracking my my wrist and my elbows. So yeah, Fernando Mendoza has only thrown 7 touchdowns on the year, which obviously means either they have to run the ball or they're just not. They just don't have a good receiving core. Now, their star running back from last year, Jaden Ott, was supposed to be this juggernaut. They say he's 5'10", 210 pounds, but he looks way smaller than that. Oof. California's run game has not been good all year. because Jaden Ott's been injured. And even the guy filling in for him hasn't really done very well. Desmond Reed didn't play in a game. And he has more rushing yards than both Ott and I believe his name is something Thomas. So we're just going to call him Thomas. He doesn't have really, he's not, their run game just sucks. Let's just, get that out of the way. Their run game sucks. With all that being said, let's get on to Eli Holstein, the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Panthers. Eli Holstein transferred in from Alabama, the Crimson Tide. That's not a school we get transfers from. We don't get transfers from schools like Alabama. And the moment we did, I was ecstatic. Ecstatic because, for one, he was a 5-star quarterback. 2, even though he didn't play at Alabama last year, he still had potential. Now, of course, Alabama fans wanted to be dumbasses and say, oh, well, he rode the bench, so he must have not been good. Dude, you have 2 senior quarterbacks ahead of him, along with 2 other junior quarterbacks. He probably was never going to see the field for at least another 3 years. And I personally wouldn't wait that long either. I would move on. Now, with Eli Holstein coming to Pittsburgh and Nate Yarnell being the presumptive starter, I was like, okay, well, if he wants to play, why is he coming here? I did not see, well, I couldn't say I didn't see because I 100% saw this happening. I just didn't think he would start the first game like he did. And he has. I'm actually not a Steelers fan, AIP. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. He also says, I kind of want USC to beat Penn State. Fuck Penn State. That is one team I do wish the worst upon. I hope their whole entire locker room gets gonorrhea. Fuck Penn State. Straight up, fuck them. Anyway, Eli Holstein has 1,564 yards on the year, 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, has a QBR of 63.2. His last game wasn't... You thought Nate Yarnell would be the starter? I did too, John Christophic. I truly thought Nate Yarnell was the starter, but looking into it, Eli Holstein has a pedigree Nate Yarnell doesn't. Even though Nate Yarnell is way more experienced in college football than Eli Holstein, when you're coming from a program that is led by Nick Saban, and you transfer to a program like Pitt, who hasn't had a ton of success over the past 30 years, or should I say my whole entire lifetime, because I'm 35, you have to see something like this happening. Because Nate Yarnell, I think, is a good quarterback. The problem with Nate is he isn't mobile enough for this style of offense. Like, he excelled very well in Frank Cignetti's offense. And I do mean that. He excelled very well in Frank Cignetti's offense. The issue coming into this season is, 1, Frank Cignetti's not our offensive coordinator. 2, Nate Yarnell isn't mobile enough. I'm not sure Nate Yarnell can keep up with the tempo of the offense the way Eli Holstein has been able to do that. But with that being said, Eli Holstein, and I will go to my grave saying this. Eli Holstein is the quarterback Kenny Pickett wishes he was. That's going to cause a lot of problems between me and Pitt fans, and it has already. Hell, even fans from outside of the fan base said I was crazy. Who's the crazy one now? Eli Holstein's last game was probably his worst statistically as far as completion percentages go. For his last game, he was 25 for 42, 381 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Oh, it's not even close. Pitt wins. Not even close. The talent level Eli Holstein has is, it's like, honestly, if he stays for 4 full years, because that's how much we got him for, if he stays for 4 full years, I guarantee you, the way he's playing now, if he keeps that up, he will have surpassed Kenny Pickett, Dan Marino, Rod Rutherford, Alex Van Pelt, all the quarterbacks that have came before Eli. I guarantee you, if Eli Holstein plays the way he has been playing, brings us at least 2 ACC conference titles and at least 2 college football playoff berths. I really hate having a lisp because that fucks up the words that have the letter S in them. I guarantee you Eli Holstein will go down as the greatest quarterback in Pitt football history. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Eli Holstein was not sacked one time in that game. Matter of fact, the last 2 games, his sack numbers and interception numbers have gone way down. Against West Virginia and Youngstown State, he did not throw an interception. However, he got sacked 5 times against West Virginia, only once against Youngstown State, but did not get sacked at all against North Carolina. Our offensive line held up. You hungry, kitty? All right, kitty, come on. I have to feed you anyways because I'm going to be gone for about 4 or 5 hours. All right, let's get you some fresh, high quality Monongahela Valley spring water. Oh, he's coming back. Pitt wins. I actually do not think we have to worry about that. I'm more worried if Kenny Johnson transfers. Actually, I have more of a concern if he transfers than Eli. I don't think Eli will transfer. Now, what I am worried about is our receiving core will take a little bit of a hit because we will lose Kanate Mumfield. But if that's all we lose, then I think we will be set. I would beg of K. Bell and Pat Narduzzi to go get a transfer that nobody thinks we can get. But with that being said, Eli Holstein is clearly the better quarterback, and Pitt is clearly the better team overall. Now, what I can't say is the defense for California and Pitt to me are very similar. Now, obviously, California has more takeaways during the season. They lead the ACC, if I'm not mistaken, in takeaways, period. With that being said, if I had to pick a game or pick a score prediction for this game, I think it's going to be close within the first half to the point where we either might be down by 3 points, it might be tied, or we might be up by 3 points. But I do truly believe the second half is where we are going to wear California out, because I believe Pitt is a second half team. I think Pitt is a second half team to where the point where even if they're down or they're ahead, they're going to make sure that you come out as a loser in the game. I do believe Pitt will win this game. I think Pitt will win this game. Let's see. I think Pitt will win this game 38-20. I think Pitt will win this game 38-20 or 38-17. Those are my two score predictions for this game. Now, is it possible California is going to come in here and upset Pitt? Absolutely. This game does concern me. It does. Because I don't know what version of California we're going to get. They did just have to travel 12 hours by plane to get here. They did. And then to even get to their hotel is another 45-minute bus ride. So you can't, I can't just give California the edge in this game. I don't think, I think the travel is going to affect them. I think the weather is going to affect them. I think the environment's going to affect them. And I just don't think California is good enough to win this game. Now, can they? Obviously, Pitt is Pitt. Pitt is known to playing down to the competition and losing. That's just how it is. But other than that, I don't think they are good enough to really win this game. But with all that being said, ladies and germs, I do have to start preparing myself to get ready. I do still have to cut my hair, even though there's not a lot. I do cut my hair once a week. I'm balding. Really don't care about the balding part. I am so used to cutting my hair once a week, I have to do it. I'm OCD about it. With that being said, I do appreciate everybody who has stopped by on this live stream. If you have not already, click the notification bell to stay up to date for more Pitt and college football content. Also, subscribe if you have not already. Drop your questions and your comments down in the comment section below. Actually, what I'm going to do is check some scores real quick. All right, let's see. Let's check the score. The last time I checked, Clemson was losing 7-0. I have no fucking idea why it's not showing the score when I Google this shit. Right, Kitty? I know. All right, Clemson is currently up 27-14 over Wake Forest. Wow, actually, holy shit. Wake Forest is actually, I don't want to say playing a decent game, but Jesus Christ. Okay, so Clemson scored all their points so far in the second quarter. Wake Forest was able to get it in one possession. A Yayer. Wake Forest is currently or Clemson is currently losing 28-14. Who is Alabama playing? South Carolina. I'm going to go ACC. All right, so Clemson is Clemson. All right, come on, Kitty, you got to go. Come on, go, got to go. You're getting on my nerves. Clemson is beating Wake Forest 28-14. Georgia Tech is beating North Carolina 17-14, although North Carolina just scored. So that seems to be the only two teams in the ACC who are playing right now, or the only four teams who are currently playing. Stanford plays Notre Dame. Pitt in California starts in a couple hours. Louisville starts at the same time playing Virginia. Then we got Syracuse and NC State. There are a lot of teams that are on a bye week this week that are in the ACC. Bama beating South Carolina at the half 14-12. Missouri beating UMass only 24-3 at halftime. Washington is losing to Iowa. Wisconsin up 14-0 over Rutgers. Ball State's beating Kent State 20-7. Buffalo is they're up against Toledo 7-0 at the half. Army at the half up 34-3 over UAB. And that's currently all the games that are being played right now. With that being said, ladies and germs, gots to go. Catch y'all later. And you will see me on Twitter at the game, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, peace out, everybody. John Christophic, Pitt wins. Typical Traveler, AIP. Wide receiver, Pitt, everybody else who stopped by. Peace out.